Is politics really leadership, or is it a psychological chamber of torture disguised as democracy? On the surface, politics is supposed to be about progress, vision, and collective good. But for most people, it feels more like a slow grind of frustration, manipulation, and constant outrage therapy. Look at how politics operates. Promises are dangled like carrots. Vote for me and you will have a better future. Safer streets, lower taxes, cleaner air. But the second the election is over, those promises get lost somewhere between a lobbyist office and a budget meeting. The people who voted are left with the bill, the slogans, and a fresh set of excuses. That's not leadership. That's psychological conditioning. And the torture isn't physical. It's mental. It's waking up every day and being told what to fear, who to hate, and why tomorrow will collapse unless you vote the right way. It's the media feeding you headlines designed not to inform you but to enrage. It's debates that sound more like reality TV than governance. You're not being led, you are being played. The trick of politics is emotion. Fear, outrage, and hope. Those are the three tools every politician reads. Fear keeps you glued to the news. Outrage keeps you fighting your neighbors. And hope keeps you showing up every 4 years like a gambler, convinced the next pull of the slot machine will finally pay out. But here's the truth though. The house always wins. Think about it. Entire campaigns are built on division. Red versus blue, left versus right, us versus them. Neighbors who once shared barbecues and borrowed lawnmowers now glare at each other because a politician convinced them their real enemy isn't greed, corruption, or incompetence. It's the guy next door with a different yard sign. That's not politics. That's psychological warfare. And history proves it. The Romans distracted their people with bread and circuses. Modern government distracts us with debt ceilings and culture wars. Same technique, different costumes. The goal is the same. Keep you arguing about symbols so you never ask real questions about power. Meanwhile, people get addicted to circus. They refresh their news feed like gamblers pulling levers, waiting for that one headline that finally changes everything. But it never does. The system isn't built for resolution. It's built for repetition. Outrage, hope, disappointment, repeat. Politics turns into identity. People stop saying, I voted for this candidate, and start saying, I am this party. That's when the chamber of torture locks shuts. Because now, if your side fails, you feel like you failed. And if the other side succeeds, you feel personally attacked. It's no longer about policies, it's about your psychology. And here's the cruelest part though. Most of the issues politicians argue about don't even touch your daily life in the ways you think they do. Gas prices rise and fall. Schools function or fail. Taxes creep high. All while politicians argue about abstract battles they rarely intend to solve. They know the outrage matters more than the outcome. So is politics leadership? Or is it just the longest running psychological experiment on human patience? Leaders are supposed to bring solutions. Politicians bring slogans. Leaders unify. Politicians divide. Leaders accept accountability. Politicians deflect and campaign again. The chamber is real because people willingly step into it. They let politics control their mood, their friendship, even their family gatherings. Holiday dinners now turns into debate stage, not because politics change anything, but because politics convince you to fight on its behalf. That's the genius of the chamber. You torture yourself and they just provide the tools. So what's the escape? Stop letting politics become your identity. You treat it like what it is, management, not minute. You stop refreshing headlines like slot machines. You recognize the circle: fear, outrage, hope, disappointment. You refuse to let your sanity be collateral damage for someone else's campaign strategy. Politics is necessary, but it's not your therapist, your place of worship, or your purpose. It's a tool, not the truth. And tools don't deserve loyalty, they deserve oversight. So is politics a psychological chamber of torture? Yes, because it doesn't just fight for your votes, fight for your peace of mind. And most of us hand it over without resistance. The torture isn't what they do. The torture is how much we let it matter. Unless You really believe the next politician with the same speech and the same promises is finally the one to set you free? My guy, check yourself.